What's up, everybody? I'm Martin at Atjazz. The cheeky things. 600.
Oh shit!
The duo, and I've got like the guys at the top. All these boys. Atjazz Record Company is a record label that supports not only up and coming talent from all over the world, but we also have some very important artists attached to the label as well. So we see it as a project label where we don't just look for bangers to make lots of money. We believe in artistry. We believe in diversity. We believe in allowing people to have their own voice. And also, I've been running record labels since 1995. I had Mantis Recordings from 1995 through to 2009. At that point, it just got to the point where you couldn't really adjust the model of a record label that was in that time to what was happening very quickly with digital music. So we were primarily a vinyl and CD record label. We were selling lots of records, which was really good. But within a period of a year, the sales went down so far that the record label couldn't recover from it. And we also had 3 distribution companies go bust on us. So I had a whip round and a quick rethink. I gave the licenses back to the artists and set up Atjazz Record Company in early 2009, primarily to release my own music. So I still had a platform for my releases. And then, typical me, I take after my big sister, Paula. I like to help people, so I ended up starting to release people again. And 10 years on, here I am, 204 releases deep, I think, altogether.
Okay.
And a nice business model in the background. So, yeah, it's I run my record label how I like record labels to treat me. And I also call my licenses a family. And I like to introduce everybody to each other, and they end up working together and building relationships and making new project names and things like that. And it becomes a real creative hub at Atjazz Record Company. It is a company of people. And that's how I see it. It's a company of people that work together with, open minds as best they can. Some people have very closed minds, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people have a very, very open minds and like to work together and, call up in each other's services, because not everybody's a producer, not everybody's a singer, not everybody's a bass player, not everybody's a drummer. But, it's nice to have these people it's almost like a small business where everyone's got their place, So it's a nice place to be, I think, for most people, yeah. The music that comes out, obviously there's a lot of house music, and I really like innocent early days house music from upcoming producers. I think it's got a depth, it's got a bit of a tier to it, but then you get people like yourselves who've got this really complex album. The two things don't go together, but they do, they meet in the middle somewhere, because everyone's got a love of jazz, everyone's got a love of Afro-Latin music, everyone's got a love of, Chick Corea, everyone's got a love of Herbie Hancock, everyone's got the idea of, it's spacey. We all have, it all comes back to that kind of deep word, if you know what I mean. And I think as long as we're making meaningful, I guess that's another good word, meaningful music, it all kind of connects somehow. So yeah, it is like a community of people. And like-minded people, just, everyday decent people that are friendly and nice and get on with it, And try to avoid any attitudes or egos along the way. It makes for a lovely platform for people to work together on, I had a similar question from Charlie Dark from Attica Blues. He asked me, I was on Instagram and he just sent me a message to say, you know, what keeps you going? You know, why are you so excited? How do you keep releasing tune after tune after tune with lots of energy? And I think I'm quite a hyperactive person, you know. I don't take drugs to enhance that. I shouldn't really drink tea and coffee because it makes me hyper. And I think that's in me and in my music anyway. But I do believe, especially being in the world of house, and this, no one talks about this kind of stuff, but I'm quite open about it because I left my ego in 2003, I think. I left it back there somewhere. I forgot about it. Is that I'm really into healthy competition. I think competing with your peers, not in a fight, you know, computer game type of way, but say Osunlade releases a record one day and I go, damn, how is he so good? Right, that's it. I'm going to make something better than that. And it's that healthy competition that keeps us up on our best and never letting things go. Also, I'm really, really aware of how fortunate I am to be sat in here at the edge of my garden and make music that I like making for a living. That is, and I've never had a music lesson in my life. So I have to, because I don't have a certificate to say you're good at this, constantly I'm in an exam, you know, and I'm also my own worst critic. You know, anyone that sits in a studio with a bunch of keyboards and makes a tune and says, yeah, that's dope, and it isn't, needs to check themselves, you know. You have to constantly be on your best. And yes, your best isn't 110% all the time. Well, sometimes it's 120%. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of balance. And I think, you know, have the healthy competition with yourself. Be better than the last thing you did, or be different than the last thing you did. Be bold and do something that you think might not be accepted as well, you know. I think it's just, I love sound. I love working with people. I like the, you know what this is like when you're in the studio with your guys and you're making music and you're going, oh my God, there is somewhat not a better feeling than that in the world, you know. When I continue to think about how fortunate I am to be in this situation, that I have to, and people like my music, which I'm very grateful of because I don't expect anyone to like it. I have to please the fans of my music, you know, and that's my responsibility. That's what I'm trying to find. It's my responsibility to keep up the good work, you know. People understand meditation as in, you know, trying to decouple your conscious mind and allow it to not work as much, and so your body can heal and things can rise to the surface and things like that. Making music is like that, I guess, in a way, because, you know, when you're sat in front of a synth, if you're sat in front of a synth and the music's good and you're nearly there and you're playing and all you're doing is making the good tweaks now, you're thinking about nothing else, nothing else at all. And at that point, that's when your real creativity can flow, because you're not pushing yourself, you're not forcing yourself. You're thinking about nothing else apart from, you got your head down, just, where was I? But you don't even ask yourself that question. No. You could look back now that we've brought it up and the amount of times that we've been in the studio and gone, God, I lost hours in that place, you know, like, where did it go? I never really understood visual artists, or, you know, I could understand their amazing work, like, that's amazing, but how'd you get there? But it's the same as us, you know, the guys are talented in a way that they disappear in their own bubble and create beautiful things to look at, you know. When you're creating at that level of cooking a meal, surely all, you know, cooking some beans and some toast, it goes out the window, doesn't it? Because that's quite easy. You can do that while you're on the phone. You know, when it gets to that level of concentration and it becomes art, then it's like a real deep understanding of something, you know.